Americans spent over $1 trillion at chain restaurants last year. Most have no idea what's actually happening behind the kitchen door. We ranked 10 major chains from worst to best based on food quality, value, and what you're really paying for. The number 1 spot will surprise you. The bottom 3 will make you reconsider your next meal out. Number 7. Domino's, the honest turnaround. Domino's publicly admitted its food tasted terrible. That confession became the turnaround strategy. Once mocked for crusts like pressed cardboard and oddly sour sauce, Domino's faced real risk of permanent customer defection. Instead of denying or dodging criticism, they owned it completely. They launched a documentary-style ad campaign in 2009, showing executives reading brutal customer reviews on camera. Then they overhauled everything: crust, sauce, cheese, toppings. The 2025 ACSI puts Domino's at 78, solid for the pizza category, sitting just behind Pizza Hut and Papa John's at 79. Customers rate it good enough and fast, which essentially represents Domino's mission statement. But Domino's has a darker chapter most people have forgotten. In April 2009, 2 employees at a North Carolina location filmed themselves contaminating food, sticking cheese up their noses, placing it on sandwiches, and narrating that it would be delivered to customers. The video went viral, viewed millions of times. Both employees were arrested and charged with felony food tampering. The franchise location shut down permanently. Sales in the surrounding area dropped 50% within a week, costing 600 people their jobs. More routinely, inspections find dirty prep tables, poorly maintained assembly lines, and toppings sitting at borderline temperatures. When kitchens are built for speed and staffed as thinly as possible, deep cleaning always loses priority. Today, Domino's crust has clear texture, no longer dry or crumbly, but soft with crisp edges. The sauce is rich with tomato flavor, cheese stretches properly. What really sets them apart isn't just the pizza, but the delivery experience. From detailed order tracking to one-tap app ordering, they turned convenience into their real product. The tracker tells you exactly where your pizza is. It doesn't tell you what the prep table looked like. Number 6. Olive Garden, the Italian daydream. Olive Garden is where Americans go when they say they want Italian, but really mean a filling, saucy meal that's not too unfamiliar. It's Italian through the lens of someone who skimmed a travel magazine at the dentist's office. The 2025 ACSI gives Olive Garden an 81 upper middle of full-service dining. People like the predictability. Almost nobody calls it good Italian food. They call it fine, and we knew what we were getting. Pasta arrives drowned in sauce, buried in cheese, sometimes to the point you can't find the noodles. The formula seems to be, if the dish still holds its original shape, it needs more cheese and sauce. A former line cook explained the reality. People think there's a chef back there making fresh pasta. The sauces come in bags. We heat them in hot water baths. It's Italian-themed assembly, not cooking. Local inspectors have caught locations with dirty salad prep areas, mishandled dressings, and food held too long at unsafe temperatures. When your entire brand promise involves endless bowls sitting out for refills, sanitation matters more than usual. Olive Garden excels at filling you up before the main course arrives. Unlimited salad and free breadsticks, always hot, fragrant with garlic butter, soft but not soggy, are perfect distractions from the heavy, indistinguishable fettuccine Alfredo plates that vary little across locations. The ambiance tries to channel Tuscany, but lands closer to an Italian daydream built with drywall, warm lighting, and oversized printed art. It doesn't make you forget you're eating at a chain next to a shopping plaza. Still, Olive Garden maintains steady crowds thanks to convenience, reasonable prices, and a good enough vibe for friend gatherings, family dinners, or low-stakes dates. Number 5. Raising Cane's the focus advantage. While restaurants cram menus with options to please everyone, Raising Cane's does the opposite. They sell one thing: fried chicken tenders. No burgers, no salads, no limited edition seasonal tacos, just fried chicken, crinkle-cut fries, buttery Texas toast, fresh lemonade, and Cane's sauce. Industry data shows Raising Cane's and Wingstop both passed KFC's system-wide sales last year, despite having significantly smaller footprints. The chicken is always hot, crispy outside, juicy juicy inside. No frozen patties, no overprocessed layers. One bite confirms it's fried correctly. Not greasy, not dry, not pretending to be something it's not. The fries deliver signature crinkle-cut texture. Crisp outside with soft potato center. The Texas toast features crunchy edges and tender inside, slathered with butter on both sides. Buttering only one side is, as Cane's believes, an act of cowardice. What keeps people returning is Cane's sauce, a secret recipe guarded like Coca-Cola's formula. Nobody knows what's in it, only that it's addictive enough to dip anything in it, even the lid of your lemonade cup. Consistency matters most. Visit a Cane's in any state and food quality barely wavers. No, great today, made tomorrow. They know exactly what they're selling and don't try to be anything else. No chasing trends, no menu overhauls every quarter, no pretending to be what they're not. The chain hasn't generated dirtiest restaurant headlines. When your menu is 5 items and your process is streamlined, there's less room for the chaos that creates food safety problems. Focus functions as its own quality control. Number 4. Five Guys, the transparent premium. Order a small fry at Five Guys and you receive a greasy bag big enough to fuel a gaming team through an all-nighter. Overflowing fries represent their way of showing generosity. The 2025 ACSI puts Five Guys at just 75, down 4% from last year, lower than Burger King. The likely culprit, prices. A burger, fries, and drink easily runs $20. They don't do weekly deals or happy hour specials. In a year where consumers punish every restaurant for rising prices, Five Guys takes the hit harder because there's no value menu to fall back on. But that score doesn't capture what you actually get for that money. Never frozen beef, hand-formed right in front of you, freshly toasted buns. Transparency so complete that every potato has an identity. Each location's chalkboard lists which farm grew today's fries. 15 free toppings to make your burger your own story. Want jalapenos, BBQ sauce, pickles, and raw onions? They don't charge extra. Don't question it. Just order like it's the most normal combination in the world. While you wait, they offer a bucket of shell-on peanuts to munch, not to fill you up, but to pass time and remind you of an era when eateries were pit stops, not just delivery hubs. The vibe isn't polished. No pulsing music, no faux luxury lighting, just red and white tiled walls, an open kitchen, and the sizzle of grease. That open kitchen matters. Like Waffle House, what you see is what you get. When customers can watch the cook, standards stay higher. Five Guys has avoided major outbreak headlines and doesn't appear on dirtiest chain investigations, partly because there's no hidden kitchen to hide problems in. A former employee described the culture. Everything was fresh. Potatoes came in bags from actual farms. Beef was never frozen. Managers were strict. If something wasn't right, we threw it out. No reheating yesterday's food. Number 3. Chick-fil-a, the experience leader. Polite teenagers, chicken sandwiches, waffle fries, closed on Sundays, just to remind you they can. That formula has dominated fast food for over a decade. The 2025 ACSI puts Chick-fil-A at 83, leading all quick service brands for the 11th consecutive year. 11 in a row. McDonald's sits at 70. That's a 13-point gap, not a statistical blip, but a pattern. The menu is simple. Fried chicken, buttery buns, pickles. 3 ingredients, no fuss. That simplicity is their strength. Every piece of chicken is tender and juicy with a crispy, non-greasy coating, a balance rarely found at other chains. What pushes Chick-fil-A near the top isn't just food quality, but the full experience. Even if the drive-thru wraps around the building, service is unbelievably fast. Staff smile, nod, take orders accurately, never rushed, never visibly tired. My pleasure replaces you're welcome, setting a standard that makes the entire industry look lazy by comparison. Individual locations have logged violations, hand-washing issues, temperature control problems. But when journalists compile dirtiest chain investigations, Chick-fil-A almost never appears. The brand's controversies make headlines for politics, not pathogens. That distinction matters when deciding where to eat. The Sunday closure sounds like an odd business decision, voluntarily giving up 1/7 of revenue, but it works on multiple levels. Equipment gets a full day of rest and deep cleaning every week. Staff get guaranteed time off, reducing burnout and turnover. Psychologically, when a meal is unavailable one day weekly, you crave it even more. Chick-fil-A's system-wide sales hit $22 billion in 2024, one of only 3 restaurant chains in America above the $20 billion mark alongside McDonald's and Starbucks. They achieved it with roughly 3,100 locations compared to McDonald's 13,500. The math speaks for itself. Number 2. Shake Shack, the elevated standard. If there's a place where ordering a burger makes you feel like you should have worn a nicer shirt, it's Shake Shack. From a hot dog cart in Madison Square Park, they've grown into a rare fast food chain where customers happily pay a premium and still feel it's worth every penny. The ACSI doesn't track Shake Shack individually due to its smaller footprint, but independent customer satisfaction surveys consistently place it among the highest rated burger experiences in America, well above the category average of 79. The vibe is simple and modern. Soft lighting, warm wood, clean lines designed to make you forget you're eating fast food and feel like you're dining with care. Burgers arrive looking so perfect you'd think they're staged for photos until you bite in and realize they taste even better. The bun is soft with a hint of sweetness, hugging a seared, savory beef patty, silky sauce, and veggies so fresh they seem garden-picked. Every detail is crafted like it's the only meal you'll have today. Even the fries spark genuine controversy. Their signature crinkle-cut fries started a customer revolt when Shake Shack briefly switched to hand-cut ones and had to bring them back due to overwhelming demand. Sometimes the familiar is what ties memory to experience. What separates Shake Shack from typical fast food safety stories: scale and control. With fewer locations than mega chains, quality control is tighter. The brand hasn't generated major outbreak headlines or appeared on dirtiest restaurant lists. A former Shake Shack employee described the standards. Everything was timed. Patties couldn't sit, buns had to be fresh. If something didn't look right, a manager would pull it before it went out. I've worked at other chains. Nobody else operated like that. Shake Shack isn't cheap and they don't pretend it is. They make you okay with spending more because you're not just getting food. You're getting an elevated version of something familiar. Number 1. Texas Roadhouse, the undeniable champion. Loud music, peanut shells everywhere, steaks that somebody actually cut by hand. In 2025, that's apparently enough to dominate. The 2025 ACSI puts Texas Roadhouse at 84, leading every full-service restaurant in America. Not close, not tied. First. This isn't a one-year fluke. Texas Roadhouse has been at or near the top for years with double-digit revenue growth while competitors scramble to stay relevant. While other 90s casual dining chains quietly surrendered to microwaves and heat lamps, Texas Roadhouse doubled down on the radical idea of actually cooking food. Hand-cut steaks, not pre-portioned in a factory but cut in-house by trained butchers. Made from scratch sides. Rolls baked on site, served warm with cinnamon butter so good you'll demolish half a basket before your entree arrives. Walk in and you're hit with energy. Servers line dancing between tables, peanut shells crunching underfoot, the smell of sizzling steaks filling the room. The steaks themselves, juicy, perfectly seasoned, cooked to your exact specification, with sides like mashed potatoes or green beans that taste like someone's grandma made them. Local inspections catch typical steakhouse issues: grease buildup, minor temperature lapses, but the chain has avoided large-scale outbreaks and chronic dirtiest chain status. For a restaurant moving this much red meat at this volume, that's remarkable. What sets Texas Roadhouse apart is their unapologetic commitment to excess in the best way. Portions are huge, flavors are bold, and the vibe is stay as long as you want. Yet prices stay reasonable, making you feel like you're getting way more than you paid for. Consistency delivers. Whether you're in Texas or Ohio, the food, service, and atmosphere deliver every time. They don't try to be fancy or trendy. They lean into being a place where families, friends, or coworkers can laugh loud and eat well. 10 chains ranked. From a bankrupt seafood chain with failing storage standards to a steakhouse with hand-cut steaks and consistent quality, each name on this list reflects a philosophy. You, as a consumer, get to choose which ones deserve your time, your money, and your family's trust. Choose for the experience, not just habit. Choose real quality, not just advertisements.